Hello, I'm Robin Gibson, and this is your Harvard House Money Morsel. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the bell to get a notification of when we release a new video. I'm sitting again with Michael Porter. Michael, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Unbelievably, it is now the 2nd of December. The end of the year is upon us. Michael, we had an unbelievable November. The markets absolutely took off. Tell us what happened, please.
Yeah, it was certainly unexpected, Robin, but very welcome nonetheless. Yeah, Robin, in some ways, there are a couple of factors that were responsible, I suppose. The first is that there was definitely good news on the US inflation front. So inflation coming down a little bit. And then reaffirmed, I suppose, by Jerome Powell, who's the chairman of the Federal Reserve, sort of admitting that basically interest rates had risen a lot, and maybe there was now room to slow the pace of increases and even look to not pausing, but certainly looking to slow the pace. So that was the one bit of good news. Yes. And the second bit of good news was China. After all the negativity when Xi Jinping was re-elected, China's thinking about changing its COVID policies, opening up a little bit, and that added fuel to the fire. And between those two, it really got the markets going because they've been weighing heavily on sentiment and risk. But and then, Robin, we had yesterday, the 1st of December, and yesterday was a crazy day. Obviously, it's sort of breaking news and it's unfinished news in terms of Phala Phala, or however you say it. And what's going to happen there and the politics in this country. And we saw massive swings in local shares, the currency, bonds, everything. So, it's really, really unsettling when you look at that kind of volatility. It's all over the place. But we've seen it so many times, Robin. And actually, I'm going to turn the tables on you a little bit this week. And I'm going to ask you a question. Okay. And the question is, what advice do we give to clients when we have these periods of volatility from a financial planning point of view?
Yeah, Michael, it is a good question. I wasn't quite expected to have you turn the tables and become the questioned. But, Michael, I think that's one of the reasons is the foundation of the Harvard House policy and investment philosophy is to really separate the capital and income, because you never know when these events might come along. I think when we went to bed at the end of November, we were probably all quite smug about where the markets were, and nobody probably would have bet that Cyril Ramaphosa would be on the table as a potential resignation. And as we know, all you need for markets to drop is for uncertainty, and markets hate that, as we know. And that's why we are so insistent that people should really live on income, because I don't think you're as worried about dividends as you are about the price of the shares. I know the banking shares took a big knock yesterday, but certainly we're not worried about the dividends from them. So there's this complete disconnect. The other thing is that I think that we've really, through our modeling, we've looked through COVID, we've looked at how portfolios have come through COVID, probably the worst event even for dividends in the last 100 years. And the investment philosophy has really held up well. So I think from a financial planning point of view, our goal is always to keep investors focused on the important things. And volatility is actually not the important thing. The markets is where you need to be to beat inflation in the long term. And that really, it makes sense. So it's not getting sucked into the narrative and just focusing on what your goals are for the long term. So
yeah, I think that's good advice. Markets are a little bit like golf.
Yes.
Just when you get smug and you think you've hit a good shot, the next shot is a disaster. And
Michael, that's a very painful comment given the state of my golf. Well, thank you for joining us. We hope you found this informative. Join us again next time. Michael, thank you very much.
Thanks, Robin.